Hey everyone, today we'll be going over a very popular LeetCode problem, and this is LeetCode number 79, word search. In this problem, we are given an m times n grid of characters called board, and we also have a string. And what we want to do is return true if this string word exists in the grid. So here's an example down below, and we see that we have a 3 by 4 grid. We know that the grid is represented by the number of rows indicated by m, and the number of columns which is indicated by n. And we are also given a string, which is the word A, B, C, C, E, D. And what we want to do is to check to see whether or not this string is included in our grid. However, we are told that the word can only be constructed from letters which are adjacent either horizontally or vertically. So what we would need to do in this case is go through all of the characters of the grid and see whether we can form this string word A, B, C, C, E, D by using adjacent cells, which are neighbors horizontally or vertically. Now there's no optimal way to solve this problem. We're going to solve it using a brute force approach. And this approach involves recursive depth first search and backtracking. So what we're going to do is basically go through the grid, one cell at a time, and check to see whether or not we can find the first character in the word we're looking for, which in this case is an A. When we look at the first cell, we see that we find an A, and so we have found the first character that we are looking for. Starting from this character, therefore, we will start a recursive depth first search and look for the next character in the string we are looking for. So we're going to go to the cell above and look for the letter B. We see that there's no cell above, so we were done with that depth first search. Then we go to the cell at the left, and we see we also go out of bounds. We go to the cell to the bottom, and we see there is an S there. There's no B. We have not found what we were looking for. And finally, we go to the cell to the right, where we search for the B and we find it. Since we have found the second character, B, in the word that we are looking for, we will then start a recursive depth first search starting from this cell, now looking for the third character in the string. So we go to the top looking for the C and we fail to find one. We go to the bottom looking for the C and we also fail. We will then go to the left. However, in this problem, we cannot use or reuse any characters. So we cannot go to the left in this case because we have already used the character A. And so even if the cell to the left contained a C, we would not consider this as a found character. We are not allowed to reuse any characters. We then go to the right, and we do find the C. So at this point, we can start a recursive depth first search from this third cell, looking for now the fourth character, which is an additional C. We will go down and see that the C is at the cell to the bottom. And again, from here, we start a recursive depth first search. We are now looking for an E. So again, we will find it here at the cell to the bottom. And then finally, we will be looking for a D, where we will find it to the left of this cell. Once we have finished looking for the word and we have found the entire word, we can return true. So we know that the output for this solution will be true because we have found the word. If we do not find the word, then we will return false. I have another example here to the right. In this case, we are also given a 3 by 4 grid where 3 is the number of rows and 4 is the number of columns. And what we are looking for is the string apple. Once again, we would start from the first cell in the top left corner, and we look for an A. We see that we have a V, so we have not found the first character in the word we are looking for. Therefore, we do not start a depth first search starting from this cell. Afterwards, in the second cell, what we see is an A. This is the first character in the word we are looking for, so we can start, in fact, a recursive depth first search from this cell. We have found the first character, and when doing the depth first search, we will now look for the second character, which is a P. We go to the left and we fail to find one. We go to the bottom and we fail to find one. We go to the top, which is out of bounds, and we go to the right where we find a P. Therefore, starting from this second cell, we will start another recursive depth first search, now looking for the third character, which is a P. We will find this P to the bottom, and then continue the depth first search starting from here. Once again, when doing the depth first search, we'll find the L as the fourth character to the bottom, and finally we will look for the fifth character, which is an E, which will be found to the left of this. Having found all 5 characters, we can return true as our output. However, let's consider another situation. Say we have reached the cell A during our for loops when looking over each of the cells looking for the first character. We found this A, and we know that it is the first character in the word that we are looking for, and therefore we will start a recursive depth first search starting from this cell. When doing this, we will then move on to its adjacent cells in a recursive depth first search looking for the second character, P. Once again, we will find the second character P to its right. So from this cell, we will then start another recursive depth first search starting for the third character, which is another P. When doing this, we fail to find the P to the right. We cannot return to the left because we have already used this character. There is no P to the bottom, but there is one to the top. So we have found the third character and started recursive depth first search starting for this character, looking for the fourth character, which is an L. In this case, to the top we go out of bounds. To the left we have an A, which is not the character we are looking for. To the right we have an R, and we cannot return to the bottom because we have already used that character. Therefore, we fail to find the L, and from this character, we will no longer continue a recursive depth first search because we have failed to finish the word. If we reach the end of the grid and we still have not found the word we are looking for, then we would return false. However, this is not the case for this grid because we have in fact found our word apple with this sequence of characters. So we're back in LeetCode ready to write out our solution. We'll start off by declaring the number of rows and columns in this grid that is given to us. We know that the rows will be indicated by the length of board, while the number of columns will be indicated by the length of board at index 0. Now we're going to go through every row and every column in our grid to look at every singular cell and start a depth first search starting from a cell if in that cell we have the first character in the word we are looking for. So we can say for row in range rows, for column in range columns, or if you prefer, you can include all of the parameters in the for loop. So we would start from index 0 to the length of columns in increments of 1. If the board at this cell has the first character we are looking for, then from this cell, we can start a recursive depth first search. So we'll start a depth first search, row, column, and we will pass in also which character we are looking for. So we are starting from the index 0 in the word that we are looking for. Finally, if we complete these for loops and we do not find a word, we will return false. Notice that the depth first search method will return true or false based on whether or not we have completely found a word. So if this depth first search method returns true, then we will return true for our main method. Otherwise, if we complete the 2 for loops, we will return false. We now have to write this depth first search in order to complete our solution. So what we will do is we will define the method depth first search, and what it is receiving is the current row in the grid we are looking at, the current column, as well as the index of the character in the word we are currently looking for. Now, if we go out of bounds from this grid, we want to return false. So if the row is smaller than 0, or the column is smaller than 0, or row is greater than or equal to the rows, or the column is greater than or equal to the columns, then we will return false. Another thing is that if the board at this row and column does not include the specific character we are looking for, then we want to return false. So we can say if board at this row and column, so this specific cell, does not contain the character at the specific index, the specific position of the word we're looking for, then we return false. Because remember, we are looking for one character at a time. Additionally, what we want to do is say that if the index we're currently looking for is the last index in our word, we know that at this point we have to return true because we have in fact completed the entire search for the word. In fact, once this statement runs above, we know that at this point, if we are continuing on, we have found the correct character. And if this character is at the last index, we have completed word. So we can return true. In the other cases where we have not found the last character yet, we want to continue the recursive depth first search on the 4 adjacent cells. However, one thing we did mention is that we cannot reuse characters when forming a word. We cannot reuse the same character in a cell which we have already used. So what we will do is modify the current cell we are looking at and change its constant from the character to a 0 so that it will no longer be valid for future depth first searches. Afterwards, what we will do is start a depth first search from the 4 adjacent cells. So we will have a result which will be equal to combination of the results of the 4 depth first searches. So we have a depth first search on the row to the top, so the cell above. We're passing in index plus 1 because we are now looking for the next character in the word. Because remember, this index indicates the position of the character in the word we're currently looking for. So this result will be equal to this depth first search, or depth first search at the cell below, and we will continue for the remaining cells. Notice that we are ORing all of these depth first searches because as long as one of these depth first searches returns true, it means that we have found the entire word and we are returning true from a specific depth first search. So if one of these depth first searches returns true, it is enough to return true for the entire depth first search and receive true in our main method and therefore return true as our output. We do not need all of the depth first searches to return true because we are just looking for one instance of the word. Finally, after doing the 4 depth first searches, what we want to do is remodify our grid to remove the 0 that we had previously inserted and re-include the character which was initially in the grid at that position. And finally, we can return result. So this is our entire solution. And notice that for the time complexity, we have 2 for loops. One is going through the entire number of rows. So this is equal to m. The other is going through the entire number of columns of the grid, which is n. So we know that for this part, the time complexity will be m times n. However, inside of these for loops, each time we are starting a depth first search if we have found the first character in the word. And furthermore, this depth first search can go on each time an amount which is equal to the length of the word itself, because we're looking for every character in the word. First the first character, the second, the third, up until the last. Therefore, the overall time complexity will be m times n times 4 to the power of L. The reason why it's 4 is because from each cell, we will start a depth first search on each 4 adjacent cells. And to the power of L, where L is the length of the word we're looking for. Now, let's make sure this code runs. And we have forgot to include an OR here when checking for out of bounds. And we have also included a comma here unnecessarily. Now it runs. And we see that it works. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like it and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you on the next one.